These are the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Regional Qualifier matchup.
Short fuse, not quite stacked up here from Deft. Throws out the bouncing bomb, does not find clear. With 3 caster minions, I don't know whether this is dive territory, but FearX will have you believe otherwise. As now picks up the turret aggro, Winter's Wrath does come down. Do they have the damage? The answer's no! Passive does come on through, but Deft almost just dies. It's actually being picked up, but isn't going to offer a Mega Inferno Bomb right now.
Yeah, if he had vision, I think he definitely tosses it in, tries to steal it. But
yeah, I was expecting something like that to happen.
I mean, he technically still could, but it would just be a dart thrown in the dark at those grubs. So doesn't it go for it? But you hear a big cheer in the crowd on the BNK side.
Throw a headbutt to the wind. Sometimes you got to do that. Trade some buttons.
Now Deft still doesn't have teleport as a bit of a lurk.
Yeah, there's the ulti right on top of Hannah. That is going to be, first blood should be coming through, but never mind. The encore comes down and FearX is going to die. Hannah with the sickest of outplays.
Oh, so sick by Hannah. Flashes and then reverses the ult as the follow-up there. FearX goes down. And what looked like was a free dragon for KT. KT got greedy. They were like, oh, we get Hannah here. We lock him down. Maybe he doesn't react to the ult. He doesn't flash. We take him out, and then we get the dragon. Instead, they lose all their health. FearX dies, and they give the dragon off of the play. A very big disaster here for KT Rolster. They killed clear, and they fail there. They fail on the bottom side. BNK now contesting the second set of grubs here. KT would not be happy with giving all 3. I don't think they will.
Yep, no encore available here from Hannah for the next little while. That might be a way for KT to try and get themselves in here as, all right, Keeper's Verdict does come on down. That's going to get rid of the cow as they're looking to try and get themselves a 4th grub, but the reset does come through and the poke is there. Something that BNK are struggling to deal with. The ulti comes through, a little bit of over-aggression maybe, as the Buster Shot comes out. Not going to be enough to kill off Raptor, but it is at least enough to send the message of please get the heck out of here.
Yeah, BDD looks like he should be able to save this plate, no problem. There's a thinned out wave here, and this is going to be FearX getting the last of these grubs. Does have his smite available for this one. And Duro, there's nothing really he can do over here. Just going to come over and be annoying, but not going to be able to deny this final grub. We'll clear this vision. FearX saves his smite for the final one to make sure that Raptor comes in. Won't be any trades. He already used his smite earlier. So KT will even up the grubs. And 3 grubs still going to be valuable team fight and get those resets. So KT need to be super proactive themselves.
Ooh, a little bit of a sidestep there as BDD going to have to jump away from Closer. Stacks up the bomb though, and now Barrel's making his way in. To Narnia goes the Glacial Prison, but the bouncing bomb is pretty good. There's the flash pole on top of Duro. He's burning down, but does get the flash. The Nature's Grasp to keep them all caught up. And Perfect just teleported in. The Keeper's Verdict just on top of the cow. And in these extended fights, this is where Seraphine can shine as the Q is going to connect, but the headbutt to save Deft. BDD able to jump his way out, and the Mega Inferno Bomb goes down. Is anyone going to die? Yes, finally the tree is going to be cut down, and Barrel, you can see, he could see it, the angle on the Pulverize, but the turret is just going to kill him. And Hannah once again in trouble. The Buster Shot's going to do it. BDD locks down the kill onto the Seraphine, finally getting KT's revenge. Got the Pulverize onto all of them in the end as well, so it could have been even better. But still, of course, Barrel's going to make that play, tank that turret, and die. That was always going to happen, but the fact that the cleanup did come on through by BDD.
It looks like it's Infernal.
Oh yeah, well it's a very small amount of Infernal. It's just the sunset of the Infernal.
That was used defensively there for Duro. I think there's no way they can actually force this. I mean, they're putting Closer on top side, trying to clear the wave. There's that TP.
Oh, okay, it's a double TP as well. Both Hannah and Clear are making their way in. Deft is looking to take a turret in the mid lane. But this double TP may not actually be able to get them anything as the reset does come through. There is mid-outer turret secured by KT. And they might even be able to get an honest 5v5 here if Perfect is going to teleport in. There is the flank angle, the Pulverize onto Clear. The Satchel's charged up. And look at the counter-strike value. It's gigantic. But so is the dead Jax now lying on the floor. Mega Inferno Bomb onto 4 is going to soften them up. But now they're able to keep them at arm's length. And yes, the Rift Herald does go down.
At the same time, what I loved about that play from KT is it looks like we are going to see this turret now in exchange here for Closer. What I loved about that play for putting Deft in mid was the whole goal of the Herald is to get a turret, and then they're like, ooh, you guys double TP.
Yeah,
Well, you get the turret anyways.
Yeah,
Those are going to push bottom wave, and like, I mean, nobody's contesting.
Yeah, well now the teleport is coming in. Clear does get his one back up and available, and Pyoshik is just out of there. They're just going to give over the Drake. Keeper's Verdict does, just get cancelled there by Duro, holds onto it. Doesn't feel like he needs to invest in it.
Closer to free push that bottom wave and then rotate over and get the Dragon. They had the TP coming up for Perfect. They could have played around it. They could have tried to deny BNK entry and continued the poke. Substantial. We're looking at a very impactful soul plus the individual Dragon itself. And they're even going to grab this turret here.
Yeah.
KT kind of getting run around the map.
Yep, 4 people. It is going to be a trade because, of course, Perfect was able to take that top out of turret earlier on, where Henna kind of made the fool of him. It's kind of in his head.
For Ziggs also with the Void Staff and not Leandri's isn't doing all too much just now.
Raptor taking a bit of damage here as Perfect going in. Let's see whether Pyoshik's smite button is going to work out. Well, it's not going to matter because he's just evicted from the pit. The Encore going to get flashed out of the way there by BDD. And now KT, they need a team fight if they're going to win this one. Pyoshik making his way back in. The big one's flying down, but I mean, I don't think KT was ever really going to die because there's not a lot of damage, but still, like,
KT should have had the better draft here, but the piloting giving us some question marks.
Hasn't quite worked out, although Duro now in a very uncomfortable position is going to flash, and that is going to get him to relative safety. Mega Inferno Bomb, and that'll finish off the kill onto the very frustrating Poppy.
Things about Tristana, if your opponent is just trying to trade objectives and going, come at me, we have control, then the Trist just solos the Dragon and you get nothing.
Yep. Really nicely done there from KT, kind of highway robbery here. This is the thing, right? Because we kind of stated it from the very beginning, the tools that KT has, they're the ones that should be able to get them ahead in this series. Hepa pulled onto Raptor. They can't lose the jungle. Oh no! BNK, they lose Raptor, and now they will lose Baron. As Def trying to satchel away, and he will be successful in doing so. Drake as well.
Yeah, Baron straight into Drake is what KT are asking for.
All right.
Here.
Keeper's Verdict is now back off cooldown right now from Duro, but the Baron, it's just dead. And now the reset is going to be possible to reset up. They do get first position around this Dragon. As all right, KT, can you actually find any of the angles here as Nature's Grasp does come down? Mega Inferno Bomb has come in. That is the Infernal Soul. As Def trying to get that damage down. They get rid of the Jax. BDD's at full health though. And over he goes. Perfect execution is not the name of the ability, but Perfect just executed closer. And now Deft is looking for some bouncing bombs onto Duro. Yes, you got the Infernal Soul, but no, I don't think you're going to live through it. As KT, they don't get the couple of stragglers there as the teleport out does work out.
Position, BNK is not the Giga Infernal Soul comp by any means.
No, it feels a little bit like Infernal Denial, which certainly is still a good thing as Clear has to go in. He's pretty tanky as the Nature's Grasp comes down as well. They get rid of Pyoshik first. Out goes the Cow and Deft. He has to flash. BDD and Deft, they need a front line to fight around. And Perfect is in the mid lane, and he's going to take an inhibitor turret.
He's going to get this inhibitor turret.
Ow, what the?
Yeah, it's actually, he hit some pretty
That was big damage as well.
It was, and that's with the Zonius in his inventory. He did go for Sundered Sky, and he has a QSS, so he's very safe on this Jax.
A bit of a rough position, but does manage to leap strike his way out. Closer will be able to eliminate that control ward as Henna. They thought that they may have had an angle there as Raptor taking a lot of damage. The Encore on the just one as Def trying to get himself out of there is successful for now, but he's kind of out of the fight as Raptor extraordinarily low. Perfect trying to get into that back line as Duro pushes him back with the heroic charge. Beryl wants to save his teammate. Mega Inferno Bomb almost just kills them all. And now BDD is in range to get these autos down. The drive-by kill on the tree. That was so sick with the explosive charge delivery. And I think that KT just had that little bit too much damage as Henna is going to be focused and destroyed. And KT, it took them 44 minutes or something like that, but I think they're finally going to win this game.
It may not have been a Penta, but that is the exact type of team fight I was talking about. Def holds his bomb for so long, even though Raptor is definitely killable just to get the maximum value. Players just trying to buy time here.
That's a cute one. Bought an arm guard just to buy as much space as he possibly can. But there is a big minion wave, and there is so much turret damage with a Ziggs and a Tristana. This game number one, my God, was it hard fought. We basically called it from the draft. BNK put up such an incredible fight that in the end it's KT.
And it is a very robust draft here that has a lot of frontline for the Jhin. The Yone comes into the front, the Rel comes into the front, and the Cassante blocks out, and then no one can really pressure or get on top of Deft as he opens up his ultimate. Perfect down into the enemy bottom laner as...
All right. Cow versus Metal Pants Horse as, all right, getting a little bit more than they bargained for, but that's so much damage from KT. Closer will be taken down. Deft just wanders up and shoots the Corki and collects the first blood.
Or Barrel, rather, it was the target. So a lot of mistakes there from BNK, punished as first Grub will go the side of KT, but this is not a composition where either team is hyper-reliant on it. I still feel like BNK will absolutely love to get every single Grub they can with a Ziggs in their composition, but it's not a Ziggs, Tristana, Jax situation.
Yeah.
So they still end up getting double here, 2 of the 3, but there's just no Gnar in this game at the moment.
No, not quite. And it's a harder champion to sort of find your way back in on as well. Like, it's a champion that does like to bully lane, try and get some of these early advantages.
Or can't actually get an advantage into a melee match if he has to lane into this Jhin, which is not going to be favorable. Is Perfect maybe in trouble now. He has Ghost.
Yep. He's the only teleport on this team as well, as Raptor is going to push him against the wall. He does have the all-out up and available. I like that he hasn't used it as Beryl gets the flash in, finds the crashdown on top of Hannah. Mega Inferno Bomb just onto Beryl, but he's just fine. BDD gets over the wall. Perfect is still alive. The Impale is decent, but unfortunately he's the one that goes down. They do manage to find the kill onto the Rel, but Perfect still tanking it up. And a 1-for-1 is not what BNK wanted in this moment, as now there are minions running out. If they're still under this turret, they're just gonna die. Duro picks up the angle and the aggro, and Hannah is the one that picks up the kill. BNK, they make the best out of the situation in the end.
Yeah, now Deft will continue to get value here, though, on the top side is clear TP down to the play, so he is just solo eco, and they're going to try to punish this TP as well.
I mean, I don't know about this one, Perfect. Satchel is going to be there. Beryl turning up, and will be able to at least keep his top laner alive.
Lead.
Yeah, he is absolutely huge this game. And also walks real fast, as Raptor is going to be able to take the first Grub out of the next set. Closer comes on over, and that is going to be 4 of them picked up now, as Beryl doesn't find the Shattering Strike. Henna coming on over, and that is going to be 5 Grubs stacked up now for BNK, and now they get the Impale. Pioshik just going to get delivered. Does spin around, keeps himself alive as BDD trying to get in there. Duro taking a lot of damage, but KT, there's no follow-up. There's no answer, and Def didn't even press R. Oh, we don't know anything, actually, as Jonas Strong is keeping us in the dark here. Headbutt does come on through as BDD snaps back, but is still just going to die. And now Def gonna have to flash out of the way of that one. The turret getting angry at Clear, who has to flash. And there it is, the curtain's called on the over-aggressive play from Clear. Beryl not gonna be able to defend this turret, though, and that should be even more money. Over to the Ziggs.
Yeah.
Satchel to get that extra money.
So it ends up being pretty good here for BNK, all things considered. He is a technical lead, but the Ziggs really starting to start rolling down the hill, and they will get the second dragon. Let's see what the soul is this time around. Ocean.
Ooh, not exactly the most valuable, but could mitigate a fair bit of the poke that BNK does.
In BNK, in that top side, the Ziggs is going to be a problem later on, though, in terms of map control, and that's what I'm most concerned about here for KT, because they don't have a comp that says, oh yeah, I side lane my way out of this. And also, BNK are going to end up getting this Herald for free. Yes, well, I mean, not perfectly free, because Perfect, I didn't mean this.
That was a good pun, I like it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't unintentional, but I think just my brain subconsciously did it. But he gets a turret, and they're trying to actually threaten this inner here, but I don't see any way that that is going to go down. Where we're at in this game, though, you know, Perfect had a hard job, too, against the Ziggs bottom side and mitigated it very well. Duro.
Yeah, Q going to be missed there. Nice footwork there from Duro, but can't get out of the way of the Deadly Flourish. Has to throw down the ulti. Is now Beryl in amongst 2 members of BNK. Henna throwing these bombs around. Mega Inferno Bomb. Beryl just going to die. Didn't have flash, didn't have any way out. And so that is going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
Won't have it at the outset of this fight. And this is looking good for KT right now. The Ziggs also pushed away, had a TP to mid.
Ooh, another Deadly Flourish, and now we're going to start it off with the curtain call. Raptor tries to drive his way out, but the ulti from BDD, his follow-up, is so good, and he's able to snap back out of dodge. That means no jungler, and that means that KT will grab their second Drake here from KT.
anyone could just TP back to answer as soon as they get those recalls to channel, and it looks like it's going to be Perfect, who's been assigned to deal with him. Doesn't even necessarily need
Yeah, he can just walk up.
Yeah, because it's just a Trinity Force Snar clear after the flash on that mid play when he went for the teleport interrupt. He's just been having a fantastic game with Jin. Again, part of this fed to him, but again.
Speaking of which, Satchel does come on through. Great knock-up as Hannah, the curtain closed! From downtown. Dura going to take the fourth one. Out of the way of the Impale, just barely missing.
Now this turret is just gone.
Yeah, they might even get a kill for it as well, as Clear does make his way in, but he's mini-nah. And that is going to be a fourth bullet. Deft with some time to reload on the way out of that. It's not a 1-3-1. But the 4-1 works out with the Yone in the side lane. And that's what they're employing at the moment. But BDD is going to rotate up. Looks like we're trying to go for another 5v5 as the Magnet Storm into the backline. The ulti pulls them all together. Mega Inferno Bomb does decent work. But PureShit goes golden. The Deadly Flourish again. And these curtains are deadly. As it's a double for the Cassante. BDD, yeah, look, maybe it's time to move back now as you have single-digit health, but Def finds another one! The shield comes out, but it ain't enough to stop the fourth shot of this Jin!
The Jin ban in game one is probably going to make a comeback, you have to imagine.
Trying to push that advantage, and that is precisely what's happening here. As Rift Scuttler going to be taken down here, Def moving up, looking for an angle, Perfect right in there already. As Close have to get out. Hannah is in trouble, and that's another bullet from Deft. As Clear is also just struggling at the mercy of KT. The mini-nah not going to do anything.
Red buff for his teammates, but KT Rolster, this is just way too much of a snowball here. And man, Hannah getting caught, but on top of that, the angle for Barrel, very good in that last fight. The all-out from Perfect.
Got the ulti. And BDD knew that there was probably someone else making their way in. And KT just utilizing the extra pressure. Play the DDR, Duro just going to be blocking it. Oh God! Could be getting sleepy now as Raptor looking for a bit of an angle here. BDD wanting to get on in there, doesn't have the ulti, remember, is Perfect. Okay, 1v5, I don't know about that one. I think knew he was dead, but he'll take a cow with him.
Maybe all out the other way, maybe towards your teammates.
Yeah, that was an all-in.
Yeah.
But they still get an inhibitor turret for it, and maybe it's fine. I don't know. Maybe they get another inhibitor turret in there. Remember, Def can follow up from about anywhere. Banana Brush has been picked up. And Perfect is not stopping. He's just going to walk in. Deadly Flourish, Deft in a great position. Duro finding a bit of a headbutt back onto PureShit, but he just doesn't seem to care. Goes golden. He'll be absolutely fine. The first kill onto Clear is going to go down. These wallets are absurdly heavy. Just in time for Natlan's release, says Beryl. And he might be falling down here. As, all right, BNK, oh God, they're routed. There are the curtains. Misses the first one, lands the second. One left in the chamber, the stun goes down. It's a double for the Jin. That'll be the ace, and I don't think a Dragon needs to apply as KT will walk it down the bottom lane and look to make it to a very early match point.
Def tricked me. I thought Jin was just supposed to be walking around reloading Atlas. He's not supposed to be 10-0 and 8. Def is making a case for maybe one more dance. We're not there yet. They've got to win a third, and they're going to have to beat T1. But what a performance from the legendary 80 carry. KT Rolster making this second one look so easy.
And I remember back to 2018, Def face checking on Jin.
So Beryl gets basically what he wants either way. He gets the Rel again, or he gets the Poppy into the Leona. And otherwise you're like, well, do we play Blitzcrank here? I think the answer is no. And on this blue side, I feel like we started off with the Ziggs, and we ended up with kind of a mess.
Yeah, kind of crazy. I think the Dragons are going to be very valuable, but I find it interesting that KT aren't putting a little bit more effort into stopping BNK from just taking these grubs for free. Didn't really change very much with how last game went.
Frozen against him, Beryl had to come bail him out, so they just didn't feel like they could make that topside play. And this should.
Yep, it's going to be successfully secured, but the Ignite is already down. PureShit is able to run really fast, and Raptor, yeah, he can throw some things, but the ulti is going to get BDD out of there.
It's over per se, but he lost so much momentum that he got frozen out of a bunch of minions. Beryl to come bail him out. Now he's super low here again. Duro's going to come over and help Closer get plates.
Yeah, a couple of plates.
Oh!
As Duro is going to get caught here, but BDD's in the most trouble. That is going to be first blood going over to the Corki. And Duro able to avoid the bowling ball as well. There is the flash heroic charge though into the turret range. And that's Beryl answering back immediately. Perfect. Even though they ultimately won the series, it wasn't one of these, oh, well, Corki is just still fine. I feel like there is a little bit of an issue with getting him over the line later into the game, as Beryl is going to get solar flared. In a little bit of trouble here. Pioshik does come down. Deadly Flourish is going to be in there. Oh, the heroic charge. That was a bit of a mistime, but still, they are getting sleepy, and that is BDD getting one back. The flash forward from Def as the Impale is decent. 2 kills immediately as Henna is in there, offering that damage back. Deadly Flourish going to miss this time. The Dancing Grenade gets the flash out from Raptor, but Henna is going so ham. The bullets come through, and it's BDD that's getting so much of this value.
Wild game. This is the action you were looking for. This,
yeah,
you thought this was going to look like, and I think it has finally devolved into.
And now that's 6 grubs for a Ziggs team. Fair time with them, obviously, as KT putting on the pressure here towards its bottom side. As, all right, Pioshik gonna have to flash the solar flare. Does get slowed down by it, but should ultimately be able to just run this one off.
And he will get away, but his backs are, or these backs are delayed. And this is what I was going to say. Henna, you know, he didn't get a lot of plates in bottom lane, but now he's in satchel range of mid. Yep, while KT were kind of floundering around that play towards Dragon. They will lose both the Dragon and the mid turret later on, especially if he gets some time alone with an inner turret, for example, and BNK. If they get map control, that's on the menu. And getting a lot of control around this Dragon right now. Does even a sub for Chemtech Soul.
Oh, come on, man.
It's definitely not the highest value, and it's a trade 1-1. So I think we're going to see a lot more topside focused plays like we are now.
Yeah, that's a great heroic charge to interrupt the charge from Trade. Knock up the ulti, and Raptor is going to be executed by the turret. Gorgeously played from BDD and Beryl. Duro with a sidestep, but he's still going to get sleepy. And Pioshik doesn't even need to press that button because KT just pile in on top.
A relatively tanky Skarner isn't, you know, it's going to be enough to let the turret do the real heavy lifting.
Oh, over the wall goes BDD. He's playing so aggressively this game as Duro just trying to run his way out the Mega Cone. He wants to get there, but he's not going to be able to. It's Beryl that finishes him off. And he'll take the cone out. That is going to be Shelly picked up. Closer, able to get that shove on that bottom side. Certainly high value there.
Aggro, you might get out of there. If he had flash, you might get out of there. As over here.
Oh dear, it's a sleepy crocodile. And he is just going to get put down by the Wind Brother. Yone just going to grab himself the kill.
Yeah. And, you know, this Dragon has started up here. Fairly low value.
Beryl has a lot of buddies. As the flash forward, Beryl's going to have to flash in answer, as now BDD's in once again. Another Deadly Flourish. Going to get caught by the ultimate. The snapback comes in. Can he dodge? No, he can't, because Def has a laser sight today. And now Raptor is running the wrong direction. Pioshik going to be able to grab that kill on his opposite number, the teleport.
Bigger on the Ziggs. Well, they're just feeding over so many kills to KT that now the gold's even.
Oh, if at first you don't succeed, throw the kitchen sink at the Jhin. And that's going to work. That's going to work this time.
Force this one, and this time it's safe.
Well, Beryl looking for an angle here. Duro just happily tanking things up. Good double knockup, though. The ulti's in there from BDD. He snaps all the way back. The Impale does come in onto Pioshik, but he's spinning around. That's the bouncing bomb, and that's going to get there. BDD still able to get a lot of work done, but they're losing so much health. The heroic charge is exactly that, but the flash is even better. Never mind, BDD gets into that backline. There was 2v4, so I'm not entirely sure about it. Looked a bit sexy for a while, and then KT kind of just throw their lives away. Shield of Daybreak onto Beryl, who is just happy to get in there with his Hex Flash. Mega Cone is up. The Baron is still going down. Are we just flipping? I mean, BDD has to teleport to get on in here if they want to make something happen, and now the teleport is going to come on through. Curtains have been called now. Closer slowed up. Raptor as well, taking a bullet. Beryl actually holding on to the Baron, but it does finally reset as the Mega Inferno Bomb goes down. Beryl pretty happy to tank that one, I could imagine.
They do not have Dragon Prio. BDD is just ripping through this one.
Yeah, perfect. Now coming on over. Deft, pretty good position here to keep himself safe. And Clear finally finds the wraparound. Beryl gets on in there. The flash forward from Duro. He finds the solar flare, but the watch out Eve is so good. And they split up the fight with the Keeper's Verdict. Beryl going down solo. He will fall, but it does not matter. KT will still win the fight. Yep, information comes in. Still, it's relatively slow. Beryl gets that control ward over. They know exactly what's going on. Mega Inferno Bomb on Pioshik right now. And this is going to be a 50-50. Let's see who manages to get it. It's Pioshik! gets that smite off. The all-out comes through as Close is in so much trouble. Oh, it's the wrong time to take a nap, but he had no choice as the curtains are being called. But I honestly think the show was already over. Bowling ball comes down and Beryl, he doesn't have flash, so he's not going to be able to get from BDD. A little bit angry. I think Henna may have pulled ahead on that damage done number. As now that heroic charge to come in after the Hex Flash. That's just going to get Henna out of there. The Impale going to do absolutely nothing. BDD snapping back anyway. And the inner turret will be falling down. How much more can KT get from this Baron?
I mean, they're going to be able to get a lot. Jin in the top lane, Deft is taking out that inner as well. With that Baron buff, does a ton of damage at the stage. So down on this, and
oh dear.
Oh God.
They're closing in. Beryl and Perfect going to bring up the rear. Deft was kind of by himself because of that. Now BDD is going to make his way in. Deadly Flourish. Deft can still affect this fight. The flash over from Clear should mean that the Jin goes down, but they've already traded 1 for 1. There's still plenty of damage, but can they actually land it? The answer is yes. Clear going to go down first. Perfect tanking it up, not going to be able to get out. It's messy, but that's exactly how KT likes it. Flash out from Raptor to try and keep him alive. The snapback comes in, the crash is decent, and another heroic charge. Henna trying to walk his way out. He ain't going to be able to get out of this one. There's the ace, and KT, it's just another step towards the 3-0.
Get one team fight here on the Elder. They absolutely get one more chance. I'm not going to favor them considering the massive gold advantage here for KT and the composition of KT and the fact that BDD has 8 kills, has a QSS, and is looking for a GA fairly soon.
Oh, that is a decent bowling ball there from Pyoshik. Yeah,
Barrel.
They're going to set up the sleep. Dura going to get woken up, but it is a bad dream, and it turns into reality. He is going to fall. It's a 1 for 1 as far as these supports are concerned, as BDD not quite able to find the angle, but Clear, he can't get out of there. The pick-off from Perfect is so good onto Henna, and he's just executed by BDD. He snaps back, and he's going to snap towards the deciding match for Worlds against T1. And if I was a T1 fan, I honestly wouldn't know how to feel. But this KT, on this day today, look really, really good.
If KT plays like this in these last 2 games, we'll forget about game 1 for the moment being. If they actually play like this, I think they should be scared. I do not think it is going to be the walkover we thought maybe it would be after watching game 1. KT, we didn't know what their form was going to look like going into today, but now we have our answer. And BDD this time leads his squad from a deficit to come back and smash this game.
These were some of the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Regional Qualifier matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.